Good afternoon, everyone. Deepak Jam this side from ECMA Center of Excellence. So now we will start the session formally. So hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to today's virtual training session on virtual prototyping for automotive suppliers to accelerate electrical designs. Today we do have Mr. Balaji Siva Prasad E and Mr. K. A. Gobi with us, who will deliver today's session. So we do welcome both of them. Mr. Gobi is the application engineer manager, products line, Synopsys from Synopsys India Private Limited. And Mr. Balaji received the MTech degree in Power Electronics and Power Systems from India Institute of Technology, Bombay in 2006. Currently is with Synopsys India Private Limited in Hyderabad, India, working as senior application engineer for Saber product. His areas of interest include design and analysis of new power electronic converter topologies for interfacing grid connected and standalone non-conventional energy sources, automotive and aerospace applications. And with Mr. K. A. Gobi also with us, so we will we gone through this demo part of the application. So he's currently an application engineering manager for the Saber product line at Synopsys. He has more than 18 years of experience and supporting Saber for more than 11 years. Prior to Synopsys, he worked in automotive companies such as Tata Motors, Volvo, and General Motors, and has vast experience in electrical system design and simulation verification methodologies. Gobi has a ME degree from the National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli in India. So during the session, if participants do have any query, then you may please post the same on chat box. And in last 15 minutes, you can raise your hand if you want to speak with faculty to get your doubt clear or if you have any query. Now the session is handed over to today's faculty to Mr. Balaji and Mr. Gopi. Mr. Balaji, you can proceed, please.
Good afternoon for all of you who have joined this training. Can one of you confirm, Balaji, you could hear me well and could see the screen well?
Yeah, Gobi.
Thank you, Balaji. All right. Good afternoon to everybody. Today in this session, we will be seeing how virtual prototyping can help to accelerate the auto electrical designs. And also we will see Saber as a simulation software, how it can help in such virtual prototyping. Myself, Gobi, after I go through those slides, my colleague Balaji will be giving a live demo with Saber. So today, this is what we are going to see. We will start with the automotive challenges and the EV trends in India. And then we will talk about the need for virtual prototyping and the model-based design to address these challenges. And then we'll give you an overview of Synopsys virtual prototyping solutions. Then we will do a deep dive into Saber and see how this provides a comprehensive simulation solution for auto electrical designs for both OEMs and suppliers. Then at the end, we will have a live demo by Balaji, and then we will have a Q&A session where everybody will participate. With that, let's get started. So these are the challenges typically that we see in the automotive industry. The biggest challenge is development cost and time to market, and also safety and quality and reliability. With the electric cars now increasing, the electrification is making really these challenges even more challenging because of the complexity that comes along with the electrification, the amount of controllers, the amount of software, the amount of power electronics that gets into the EV makes these challenges even more harder. So having said that, let's have a quick look at the EV trends. So based on the global data, we expect at least 1/3 of global automakers not making any IC engine based cars post 2025, and then this could go up to 40% in the year of 2040. So this is the data that we see globally. And when it comes to India, these are the uh, highlights or headlines that we see publicly in internets and in the newspaper. All the big auto giants in India, such as Maruti Suzuki and Tata Motors and Mahindra, and also even other automotive companies in India, they all have solid plans for EVs, and they're going heavily after EV market. And if you look at the expected EV volume in India, this is shown in the right-hand side chart over here. The yellow color is the one that's for two-wheeler, and that's going to dominate the electric vehicle market in the coming years, followed by three-wheelers and cars. So two-wheeler is the one that's going to have maximum volume because of the given size of population we have and the economy and so on. So having said that, EV is really going on a boom, and this is bringing up a lot of opportunities and as well as a lot of challenges. For example, here is a challenge that is associated with EV motor drive design. In such application, the core components such as controllers, inverter, and the motor, these are typically designed in kind of isolation. Of course, some amount of approximate loading effects are considered for the adjacent systems, but it's not done in a way that it should be done when you really look at the system and vehicle as a whole. So because of this isolated design with limited knowledge or with limited consideration of the additional subsystem or adjacent subsystems, uh, the teams get into system level integration issues and optimization issues when you put everything together. And at the end, this is leading to higher development time and cost. So this is one of the biggest challenge in the EV motor drive designs. And likewise, we have set challenges in all other areas of the EV and even in the traditional automobile designs. So definitely, that means we need a new design and verification environment to tackle those challenges. Today, a lot of companies still rely heavily on physical prototypes, which are costly, inefficient, and then that also makes the design development in a serialized mode. So people are waiting for the other to give the specification or models or design so that they can go ahead and do their job. For example, OEMs often have to wait for their tier one suppliers to provide the system so that they can put all of them together to make the validation at the vehicle level. And whereas tier one suppliers are waiting for tier two suppliers to give their components so that they can do a validation at the system level. And tier two suppliers, they can do some amount of validation, but they don't have full context of the system from the tier one supplier. So they know fully about the component, but they don't have the good context around the component which in which it will be part of it, right? So these all challenges and this kind of working bit in isolation really is not helping much with physical prototypes. So the best solution is to go for virtual prototyping and model-based design. With that, all the OEMs and automotive suppliers will be able to collaborate much better. They can get an early start, and then they can get the results very fast. So definitely virtual prototyping is very important. Let's see what is virtual prototyping and model-based design. Virtual prototyping is a method to accelerate the product development by involving computer-aided software to validate the designs virtually well before the physical prototypes. And likewise, model-based design is a methodology, mathematical methodology to address problems in developing complex systems. And these virtual prototyping and model-based design, they are widely used in industrial applications, aerospace, and automotive applications. What advantages these virtual prototyping and model-based design bring to us? Um, First, one can run the virtual model through unlimited iterations to find the optimum design virtually. You can go back and forth, you can change things in the model till you get the design optimized without investing a lot of money in the physical prototype. So that way it enables the engineers to design the parts more precisely upfront, and it eliminates the need for any large rework. And also it helps to identify any corner and worst cases very quickly, thereby helping to make a robust design at the end with a great quality. So definitely these all leads to reducing the design cycle time and the associated cost. And finally, it enables you to get to the market very quickly. So basically, you can design and test everything virtually right from the processor to the vehicle. So having given you an overview of the challenges and how virtual prototyping can help there, what Synopsys offers in that area. Synopsys is one of the biggest uh, company in the EDA market. Uh, um, so we provide a lot of virtual prototyping solutions to many automotive companies, be it OEMs or suppliers. We are serving about 60% of the top 15 automotive suppliers already. And likewise, we are also serving about 80% of the top 15 automotive OEM companies. Okay, what kind of virtual prototyping solutions that Synopsys provides for automotive? Um, we have a lot of tools in this area. We have Silver and Virtualizer software for early software development. Then we have Saber RD for mechatronics designs. Then we have Saber ES Designer for wire harness design. We have Saber EXP and Saber RD for power electronics and systems. We have Simplify for IC and FPGAs. We have Designware and other core EDA tools for semiconductor IP. And most of these tools have a great ecosystem between them so that even at a system level, at a vehicle level, many things can be validated together along with software and hardware, everything together. So now we will go into Saber more deeply to see how that provides a comprehensive solution for electrical, power electronics, and multi-domain systems in automotive. Before going too deep about Saber, let's step back a little and see why not other tools and why Saber. The fact is that there are a lot of virtual prototyping tools or simulation tools available in the market, but there are many limitations with them. For example, the common SPICE tools that we see, they often provide very slow performance, and also we don't get adequate frequency domain information for switching networks. Switching networks and power electronics are very important element of electric cars. And if you're not able to get this kind of frequency domain analysis to a adequate level and with greater accuracy, then it's a big challenge. And this is kind of narrated in an IEEE paper. And then in general, lack of models with right fidelity is another big challenge. Models are the starting point for simulation. The better the models, better the simulation results. So, and also the simulation performance is largely decided by the models. So having the right set of models with the right level of fidelity is very important. Then the another challenge is simulation performance. A lot of simulators have performance issues, especially for complex designs, and then they don't converge often. Even if they converge, the results may not be very accurate. And the other challenge is to uh, the other challenge is not having one simulator to all of my job. One has to go for different simulators for different purposes and for different abstraction levels. So that's another biggest challenge. So you have to keep shuffling between different simulation tools. So that's where Saber comes in, and Saber provides you one comprehensive simulation environment across your design flow right from concept to the production. And this is a well-proven tool with superior performance and accuracy. So definitely we would say simulation is must and Saber is the best. We'll explain more in the upcoming slides, and we'll talk about how Saber is giving the comprehensive simulation solution as against the other tools in the market. So to explain that, let's look at the design cycle. This is a typical design cycle most of us go through. So when you are designing something, you start with simple modules with ideal models first. For example, if someone is designing an inverter or a DC-DC converter, they start with a basic module with ideal models. They don't jump into the micro level details of a switching device upfront, or they don't get into the finer details of a microcontroller right in the beginning. So they make the modules with ideal models first, and then they integrate such basic modules together to make the system. And then on the system, a certain amount of behavioral analysis and stability analysis are performed to make sure that the system works and meets the specification and the design is stable for the given specification. And then we generally proceed for physics-based model. Instead of the ideal models, we replace them with the physics-based model for more finer details and more accuracy. And then also the system becomes more complex along the way. It becomes a system of systems with multi-domain parts in it, and on which you need to do a lot of robust design analysis besides the typical nominal analysis, such as injecting faults and making sure the design is really taken care even under fault conditions, and an analysis of worst case scenarios. All this kind of reliability and advanced analysis have to be done to make your design really robust before you verify and ship it out the market. So given this level of a design flow or this sequence of a design flow, we don't have same simulation requirement at all stage. People can deploy simulation tools, but the challenge is your goal or expectation out of the simulation tool is sort of different at different stage. So when you are at the beginning, what you need is generic models with which you can verify your proof of concept quickly. And the simulator has to be providing high performance so that you can validate things very quickly. And then when you go along your design, when you make further progress along the design, you need characterized models at some point where you want finer details to be captured. And when the system becomes complex, the simulator should be able to handle really a big complex designs, and it should converge even for a bigger design, and it should be able to provide some sort of a simulation setting and fine tuning so that you can make those changes, finer changes in the simulation settings, so that even a very complex design can converge. So this kind of flexibility should be there in the tool. And of course, the tool should also provide great robust design methodologies and advanced analysis such as fault injection, worst case analysis, and so on. So this is the typical design flow, and these are the typical expectation at different stages of the design flow. So we meet all of that with our tool suite. So we have Sabre EXP, which is an entry-level tool, and this is great for power conversion designs and motor drive designs. And then we have Sabre RD, which is an advanced, powerful simulation tool. And this is great for detailed modeling and large-scale designs and advanced analysis. So we have a nice graduation path between these two tools. Once you are done with Sabre EXP for your initial design exploration, stability analysis for your power conversion designs, you can just export the design to Sabre RD automatically. You don't have to redraw anything manually. You can just export the designs to Sabre RD at the click of a button. It creates the equivalent design in Sabre RD automatically. And then the exported design can be further evolved with additional systems and complexity, and you can do a lot of advanced reliability analysis on that. So that way, we provide a comprehensive solution from concept to the production. All right. So having given some high-level introduction about our tool suite of Sabre with Sabre EXP and Sabre RD, now let's see where all these tools can be used in automotive. In automotive, you can use these tools for a variety of applications, right from PowerNet to in-vehicle networking to electric powertrain. So, for example, in PowerNet, the basic goal is to uh, replicate your power generation systems and distribution systems and loads with given size of your battery, with given size of your alternator, with given set of loads and their on-off cycles. For a given drive cycle, will that combination be enough to meet your load requirements? Will your generator and battery, will they be enough in size and capacity to meet your load demands under varying driving conditions? So these kind of analysis can be well done in Sabre. And also nowadays, you see a lot of electronic control units all across in your car, and they're all connected through in-vehicle networking, such as CAN or CAN-FD or FluxRay. All these in-vehicle networking can be designed and validated using Sabre for signal integrity. And also wiring harness, which is another important area in automotive. This is something like a nerve system in our body, which connects all the parts together to transmit the current and the data. So we have Sabre ES Designer for wire harness design. And also not just the design, you can simulate the whole wire harness design for validating your expected performance, voltage drop, temperature rise, and so on. Then in battery system, again, Sabre plays a key role, be it your traditional battery with lead acid chemistry or with advanced battery for EV, such as lithium ion or other chemistry. Sabre can help to design and validate all those battery systems. And also EV charging system is another application where Sabre is a great fit. It starts up systems. And then in all of these designs, functional safety is an important piece. We have now ISO 26262 standard as a mandate thing for many applications. So using Sabre, you can do fault injection automatically and do ensure safety is in place. And of course, EV powertrain, which is in big boom now. We can do various analysis with respect to EV powertrain, both at the component level, also at the system level. We will be seeing more details on this piece in the coming slides. So in other words, you can basically use Sabre to design and validate anything that touches the electrical system, be it power distribution, or motor drives, or sensors, or actuators, or power generation, power conversion, mechatronics, even the control part. All of this can be well done in Sabre. Basically, with Sabre, you can get your design in any of these areas. You can get your design right upfront before building any prototypes. And when you make your design, obviously you can do a lot of things such as what if analysis on the design topology. There are different what if situation you can analyze, and you can size your components properly. You can decide, let's say if you're a vendor for an alternator, you can see if my design of this alternator, will it meet the given specification, given load by your OEM, and likewise many other component sizing can be done. And also the stability analysis for a given specification can be done. Then once you're done with all this nominal study, you can proceed for taking the variations into account. Of course, we cannot ignore the manufacturing tolerances, production variations, environmental conditions. So we have to take all those variations into account and still do further analysis to make sure that you have got your worst case identified and mitigation methodologies in place. And also you could do advanced analysis such as sensitivity analysis to find which of the parameters are playing a bigger influence or having bigger influence on your desired output. Let's say if you're an inverter designer, your goal is to minimize the loss. Which parameter in your inverter of which part or which parameter is playing a bigger role in reducing the loss? You can find that easily by running the sensitivity analysis. And like we spoke a little while ago, fault analysis is another important aspect, and also stress analysis. So in your design, when they're operating, there are different operating conditions. So in all of those operating conditions, you can find out the stress at different components. So some components might be operating little even above the rated value, which means that's going to fail sooner. So you can find those kind of things by using simulation so that you can make your design very robust. All right, with that, let's get into EV. When it comes to EV powertrain components and also for system, how Sabre is going to help. In case of EV, these are the major components. Of course, battery is the biggest starting point. You have a big battery pack, and then you have controller to sense and control many things, and then the power electronics and motor drive part, which drives the motor. And also apart from these main key components, you have a lot of sensors, mechanical loads, actuators, electronic control units. There are many components when it comes to EV with a lot of complexity involved. But Sabre helps to design all these things very easily, both at the component level and as well as at the system level. Here is an example. So we have in fact taken a market available electric vehicle based on the published data or specification. With that, we replicated those specifications and we replicated that particular EV car and Sabre. And that was pretty easy because Sabre comes with a great set of parts. In our library, we have 30,000 plus parts to be able to design EV powertrain or any traditional automotive designs or any subsystems or systems or component design. All that is possible because we have very good library of parts for automotive. So once you have the EV design in place in Sabre, you can do a different analysis right from component to control to system, depending on what your interest is or what your business is. Let's say if you are a supplier for an inverter, probably you might want to analyze more in terms of the technology that should be used or the switching devices that should be used in an inverter. For example, you can validate silicon switching devices versus wide band gap devices such as silicon carbide and gallium nitride. So you can find the right device with best efficiency for your inverter design, and you can control your switching losses. And also you can look at the voltage and current spikes and how they contribute to EMI. You can limit all those sudden spikes so that your EMI is under control. These kind of things can be done. Whereas if you're a control engineers or working for a controller development, you can look at various control strategies, in this case field oriented control or direct torque control for this particular EV application, so that you get your control strategy right in place, so that motor gets the best efficiency. You are able to extract maximum torque per every ampere. So that way you can do a lot of control strategy here by using the software. Whereas if you're at a system engineer, maybe working in an OEM, maybe you might want to put all things together and see how much is my vehicle performance, how far my vehicle can go with one full charge of battery. The range analysis, efficiency analysis for different motors and different components in your vehicle, and thermal aspect, how much is the battery temperature rise and temperature rise on the inverter, so that you can design the right thermal heatsink or the thermal network to make sure that things are within the limit. And then you can also, like we discussed, you can do various drive cycle simulation to make sure still you are able to meet your design requirements with various drive cycles, load balancing, battery management, fault handling, fuse sizing. All this you can do it at a very high level, system level. So now let's see let's see an example for power electronics design and see how our entry level tool Sabre EXP and Sabre RD together can give you a best value and comprehensive solution. So here let's take onboard charging module as an example. This has got multiple stages, multiple sort of subsystems in it. So let's take DC-DC converter block, and let's see what all you can do with Sabre EXP and Sabre RD for this kind of a DC-DC converter design. So you can start with our entry-level tool Sabre EXP to design your DC-DC converter. So you can start off with finding the right topology. You have various options like boost converter, buck boost, CPIC, and so on. So you can do many analysis here and come up with the right topology for your specification, for your application. And then to go a little more deep here, here are some of the specific questions that you can answer with Sabre EXP. In the DC-DC converter, one of the important pieces is your PWM controller, which turns on and turns off your switching devices. So you can do analysis on this controller and optimize the switching frequency. Then when it comes to the inductors in the design, you can use the analysis in Sabre EXP to size it properly, because when it's going to be small, it has its own implications. When it's big, it's going to have its own consequence here. So you have to size it rightly for your design. That can be well done in EXP. And also the switching devices such as MOSFETs and IGBTs can be analyzed here for finding the right ratings. On the output filter capacitor side, you can do check on your you can check on the voltage ripple, low transient response, and so on. Then when it comes to the control loop, it's very important to check the stability of the control loop. So here we have PAC analysis, periodic AC analysis in Sabre, which can help you to get the Bode plot very quickly to check the stability of the whole system. And also you can look at various alternatives for your whole DC-DC converter to see which mode is better, maybe voltage mode control versus current mode control. So these kind of comparative study can be well done in Sabre EXP. So once you're done with all your initial design exploration, you can just continue in Sabre RD. You can just export the design to Sabre RD. Automatically, the equivalent design is created in Sabre RD, and you can start making your design more complex depending on your requirements. And also you can start using more finer details for your components. For example, for the PWM controller, if you want to replace that ideal PWM controller with more detail, probably you can define that in Sabre EST, Sabre RD, or you can if you have a SPICE model for that, you can just convert that into Sabre and use the SPICE model. Usually for PWM controller, typically many semi vendors, they provide SPICE models. Those model can be well taken into Sabre RD. And when it comes to the switching devices, such as IGBTs and MOSFETs, we have the characterization tools with which you can easily create accurate models. What all you have to do is just take the data sheet and just overlay here on different characteristic curves window. This is an ID versus VDS window. You can just overlay the data sheet and then just trace the curves from your data sheet, and then the parameters associated gets tuned automatically. And this way you scan the curves for multiple characteristic curves of the device, and we have easy way of doing it. With that, you will be able to accurately create an accurate model very quickly. And similarly, when it comes to the magnetic components such as inductors or transformers, we have a magnetic component tool with which you can scan the curves like BH curve, and also get the details of transformers easily into the tool for core and windings. Thereby, you can easily create a model for transformers and other magnetic components. Once you come into Sabre RD, the other important capability to leverage is its robust design capabilities. So we'll explain that with an example here. So like I said, just stopping at the nominal design is not enough in this competitive market. You have to really make your design really robust, even in the extreme conditions. So Sabre helps for that. Sabre goes well beyond nominal design. It helps you to perform advanced simulations such as parametric variation, injecting faults automatically, doing analysis by taking production tolerances into account, and performing various statistical analysis such as Pareto, and perform even worst case analysis. By all this, you can make your design really robust even for an extreme condition. We'll give an example over here for you to quickly understand what it is. So we'll take an example again in the EV area. In the EV, the biggest challenge or everybody's goal is to optimize your EV such that you get maximum range or mileage out of it, maximum kilometers for your full charge of for one full charge of your battery. The farther you go, better it is. So everybody wants to get the maximum kilometer range. So let's say your specification or your design goal is to get 300 kilometers. So you put your design virtually using Sabre, and then you make the nominal analysis, and let's say you get the results, and that let's say that result is lesser than even 250. Right. So as a designer, definitely you have to tweak the design to the best extent possible so that you get better range. But the other option is to just increase the battery pack with a bigger capacity, bigger size, but that's not the right thing to do, because that's going to have its own consequence in terms of cost, weight, and efficiency. So definitely you have to find ways of utilizing your energy in the battery to the best extent possible and get all of the energy to the wheels to get better efficiency. For that, we have advanced analysis such as sensitivity, which will find the parameters which are influencing your range the most. So you can find those kind of influencing parameters and optimize that. By doing also the optimization in Sabre, you can get a good set of parameter combinations. So what this optimization does is you will have many parameters in your design, and most of them will have production tolerances. So this analysis varies those tolerances within the given band for all the parameters, and then it gets you a combination of the parameters within the tolerance band. Of course, it will get you a parameter combination that will give you the best result for the given goal. If your goal is, let's say, 300 kilometer, you set that goal, and then it will find the parameter combination that will give you that or closest to this value. So with that, let's say you get your design optimized, and let's say you move your range from 225 to say 300. Now you got the goal right. You met your goal, but then the challenge doesn't end there. Excuse me. The challenge doesn't end there, because the production tolerances, environmental conditions, temperature, all these things are going to affect. Because of that, you'll have variations in your production. So some cars will have this, some cars will be just giving only 250. So yeah, the customer who got a vehicle with 350 range, he'll be very happy, or he or she will be very happy. But whereas someone who got this kind of a vehicle will be in trouble. So we have to really reduce the variations. So we have further analysis methodologies in Sabre, using which you can take the production tolerances into account and do further statistical analysis so that you can get your variations narrowed down. So this way you can make your design really, really robust. So let's put some points as a conclusion here based on what we have seen so far. So definitely hardware testing is very costly and time consuming, and all the automotive challenges like getting to the market quickly and cutting the cost, these kind of challenges, and the electrification really requires virtual prototyping. You cannot rely on the physical prototypes anymore. But again, even if you go for virtual prototyping, most of the virtual prototyping are not comprehensive in nature. It doesn't really benefit you much. That's the challenge overall that we have seen. And the best solution is to adapt Sabre, which gives one simulation environment from concept to production. And also this has a greater flexibility and multiple abstraction levels that benefits component suppliers, tier 1 suppliers, tier 2 suppliers, and also for OEMs. So you can do analysis at component level, control level, system level, vehicle level. So that kind of a great flexibility is available. And Sabre is well proven, like you have seen in the earlier slides. We have great success stories, references. So definitely Sabre is well proven in the market. This basically accelerates time to market and reduces the cost. So this is the key challenge and the biggest requirements from every OEM and every automotive supplier. So definitely the recommendation or the kind of a conclusion is simulation is must and Sabre is the best. So that's what we would say. And you could explore that yourself. We have great online resources in our web page. We have Sabre RD demo version, which is Sabre RD is our powerful a tool. For this, we have a demo version, and for Sabre EXP, which is an entry-level tool, we have an evaluation version. You can download these yourself from our web page and explore. We also have self-guided training class with embedded videos, which helps you to understand the tool and which helps you to experiment and explore yourself. So these are all great resources. I would highly encourage all of you to get on our webpage and look at our tool and experiment and see how it can benefit you. And of course, you can get in touch with us for any further queries. We also have Q&A at the end where we can discuss. With that, I will wrap up the presentation, and I will hand over to Balaji for providing the demo. So hopefully, hopefully that would be more interesting than just the slides. So I'll hand over to Balaji.
Thank you, Gobi. Hello, everyone. This is Balaji. Gobi, can you confirm?
Yeah, I could see your screen and I could hear you. Hopefully that's the same with everyone. Yeah, please go ahead, Balaji.
Yep. So thanks everyone for joining this session. I will take you through the Sabre EXP solution for simulation and virtual prototype, which is a virtual prototyping solution for comprehensive analysis of electrical systems as well as mechanical and multi-domain systems. So Sabre comes with two levels of tools. One which is an entry-level tool where you start with the conceptual design phase, and then you move to Sabre RD, which is an advanced tool for performing comprehensive analysis on the electrical system or a multi-domain system. So Sabre EXP, as I mentioned, is an entry-level tool, which means it is designed to run simulations quickly and provide you easier results, so as to make sure that we can have an early understanding of the basic topologies that you may want to use for in the conceptual phase. So what you see right now is Sabre EXP homepage. And it's an integrated development environment where you can have the complete tools required for creating schematics, then parameterizing them for your particular design requirement, then try to run simulations on the same, finally evaluate the system results so as to understand the system's performance in clear detail. So when you talk about electrical vehicle, the first system that comes into picture is the powertrain. So the powertrain is a system that connects the vehicle battery to the propulsion motor through a power electronic system. So the power electronic system converts the DC voltage from the battery source to a form which is required by the motor, electrical motor. So in the conceptual phase, where the key goals are to understand what kind of voltages are required for the motor, and how you can efficiently design a control mechanism that controls the power electronics interface and runs the motor efficiently, and at the same time draws optimum amount of power from the battery. So these kind of analysis can be performed on the system after creating a simulation model for it. So right now what you're seeing is the powertrain system for designed or created with the market available specifications of Nissan Leaf. So as I said, the tool comes with a set of component models that can be parameterized based on the user design requirements, and it includes all the various components required for creating power electronic systems as well as motor drive systems. So when you create such system, and the next step is to run the simulation. So in this tool, since it's mainly used for conceptual understanding, it has a minimal set of analysis, which gives you an understanding of the time domain response and the frequency response. So I'll talk about frequency response a little later. So when we talk about the time domain response or the transient analysis, it gives you an understanding of the response of the system as time passes on. So for quick understanding, I have the simulation run and the results ready for you. So what we see here is the startup of the motor, and the current frequency is in sync with the motor speed. So you can see that the frequency increases as the speed picks up. So if you see the reference speed, the control algorithm tries to increase the current so as to make sure that the speed of the motor, which is shown in pink color, match the reference speed. So to get to that level of speed, you can see that the torque on the motor is also increasing. So this way we can understand the performance of the system in time domain. When you want to look at the other main analysis available is the frequency domain analysis. So it is mainly centered around power electronics design because of their complexity and the kind of power they handle, and the requirement for an efficient closed loop system. Because this acts as an interface between your source and the load, the higher the efficiency of your interface, the efficiency of your total system also will be higher. So and at the same time, stability is another concern, where the interface should operate efficiently and stable with stability under all conditions of your load as well as source. So in these particular studies, frequency response analysis helps in a big way. So the common practice is to create averaged models so as to run a frequency response analysis. But Sabre comes with an analysis called periodic AC analysis, which can be run directly on the switching systems. So we can say that the system is understood for its time domain response. So we can, after understanding the design for its time domain response, so we can see that it provides a voltage which is it is designed for. Then we run a frequency response analysis so as to get its frequency response. So the frequency plots are shown here, wherein with the load inductance or the filter inductance is being varied for different values. So you can understand for a given load and source condition, how the variation in inductance varies the frequency response. So you can develop your closed loop systems based on actual measurements instead of having or designing closed loop systems based on ideal data or mathematical calculations. So this way, the understanding the frequency response as well as time domain response of systems can be done in Sabre EXP, which runs quite faster and gives you accurate results. So once we are done with the understanding of the conceptual phase, and you have frozen on a particular design, you may want to understand the system's performance whose simulation result is close to the hardware. So starting from the ideal components or generic components, you may want to use the simulation models of actual component part numbers. So they can be modeled either from the component data sheets or from lab measurements. So to do that and perform advanced analysis that Gobi has explained, we can move from Sabre EXP to Sabre RD. So there is a simple switch between Sabre EXP and Sabre RD, which is the export to Sabre RD option. So when you're okay with the conceptual phase, the next phase is the detailed design process, where Sabre RD comes handy. So now what you're seeing here is Sabre RD simulation software, which is again a multi-domain simulation software environment. This handles much more complexity than any other tool in the market. So this it supports electrical systems, mechanical systems, hydraulic systems, and any other domain software with simulation engine in the background, which can simulate complex systems without any issues. So as you have seen in the Sabre EXP tool, we moved to Sabre RD, and I have added some component models into this same design. For example, the MOSFETs are modeled using the Power MOSFET characterization tool, which will help you to create models from the component data sheets. So whatever component that you're using in your system, whatever the supplier is giving you, can be directly added into the simulation environment, and you can run simulations. So this way, your software simulation is close to your gives you results which are close to your hardware results. So when you talk about systems, again, as I mentioned earlier, Sabre RD supports multi-domain simulations. So we can see powertrain, the same powertrain of Nissan Leaf is modeled in Sabre RD. And since the idea of Sabre RD simulation is to provide you with simulation options tailored for different suppliers. Say, for example, if you are a battery supplier, you can model the rest of the system because you are mainly concerned about the battery characterization or batteries performance under different conditions of your load. So you may not be interested in detailed
Balaji,
performance of the load, but having an appropriate load will help you to efficient. So that way, having a detailed model for the switching converter or the motor, we have average models. Yeah, Gobi.
no, we lost you just for a
Hello.
while, but now you're back. Yeah, we lost your voice for a while, but now you're back, Balaji. Continue.
Gobi, you wanted to. Okay. Yeah. So for a particular supplier, say a battery supplier, we the idea of the battery supplier is to provide a particular voltage or current and understand its performance for the load. So if you don't have this load information, we may just design the battery for an ideal condition. So having an averaged model which can help you understand the battery characteristics will help you to design the battery optimally. So I am showing you the simulation results just for saving time. So here we have a drive cycle, which is New European drive cycle, applied continuously to see how long a fully charged battery can uh, run. So what we have seen is the range that can be achieved is up to a maximum of around 220 kilometers. And as you vary the um, temperature and the age of the battery, we see that the distance that can be covered in one full charge keeps on changing. So this way we can try to understand the performance of one of the subsystems, say battery in this case, for different environmental conditions, be it the temperature or maybe the age of the battery or the state of charge of the battery and so on. So this complete system can be evaluated for its battery performance, and to run the simulation for which uh, runs up to around 7 hours, it takes only few minutes. So in this case, you can see the simulation ran within 14 seconds. So it's not just tailored for the battery supplier. Say if you are a supplier who works on the inverters. So the tools allows you to create accurate models directly from the data sheet as I shown before for a MOSFET. Here we have an IGBT model characterized from its data sheet, and the inverter operates with all the various gate resistances, gate voltages, and a control which is modeled using C subroutine. So the same design, instead of now concentrating on the vehicle battery, we are concentrating on the inverter subsystem. So you can see how the switching waveforms are, and then evaluate what is the current flowing, the inverter current output, and the switching waveforms accurately. So this way we can work on the inverter module as well. The simulation software allows you to use various types of control algorithms created in different environments, say as a C routine, which is quite commonly used. So the same control algorithm can be ported onto a digital platform, which can be an FPGA, or digital controller, which can be an FPGA, or a digital signal processor from any manufacturer. So you don't have to create things that cannot be used in your actual hardware, but we can test the same algorithm that goes into your hardware on a simulation platform and evaluate your system. So it's not just for powertrain. Say, for example, another system, which is the alternator charging system, commonly seen in most of the vehicles. So the alternator connected to the vehicle engine shaft is tested here for charging the battery. So as we know, to connect the loads, various loads that are required in the vehicle, we have to optimally size the battery and the alternator. So based on the load requirements, we can try to run various analysis, especially in this case, the time domain analysis. So as the vehicle runs and the loads are applied, how the battery and the alternator are sized so as to supply these loads. So we can have different kinds of loads here, and they are also switching at various time instances, and we can see that the state of charge of the battery is changing, but the vehicle speed defines the rate at which the alternator provides electrical power and charges the battery. So the worst case happens when your vehicle is running slow and you have high loads. So under these conditions, the alternator may not be charging the battery quickly and able to supply all the loads that are connected to the system. So this way, it will help you to understand the size of the alternator and the battery to optimally supply these all the loads connected to your connected in the vehicle. So this way, it's not just a simple subsystem. The whole system can be simulated in one environment and understand the effects of each and every subsystem on the various individual components. Another key subsystem in a vehicle is the electric power assisted steering system. So this is an electromechanical system which includes gears, the steering wheels, then the tires that are connected to the steering system, and the electrical unit. So traditionally we have these hydraulic power assist, but in the latest vehicles we see electric power assisted steering, which is quite efficient and easier to maneuver. So when you try to design a particular these power assisted steering systems, the key components are the motor that assists, or the steering system connected to the steering system, and the motor is controlled by an inverter, which is controlled by an ECU. So the engine control unit, electronics control unit controls the motor so as to provide the required steering assist. So in this case, if you see the steering angle for the same torque applied, we get more steering angle, and these are the different waveforms of. So this is the motor current, where you can see when the steering assist is disabled, the current is 0, while when the steering assist is turned on, you can see finite current that is being supplied to the motor, and proportionately the force from the motor pinion is seen when the steering assist is turned on. So with time domain simulation, we can understand what are the various torques that are applied on the steering system, as well as how much the motor has to drive. Then what are the various currents that are drawn from your battery. So all these things can be analyzed in greater detail. So it's not just time domain analysis, but when it comes to automotive simulations or automotive designs, functional safety is another key important factor. So if you have to run fault analysis or try to understand the fault behavior of the system on hardware, it is not practical to cover all the various fault scenarios on a hardware testing prototype. So but the simulation environment will help you to perform tests on all the various components and understand their effect on the behavior of the overall system whenever a fault occurs. So the fault analysis tool in Sabre will help you to apply faults on all these various subsystems. So here is the result from the fault applied on the current sensor. So what we can see is the dotted line shows the nominal behavior, while you can see some of the characteristics, some of the situations are giving you a more oversteering. So you can see that in some cases, whenever the fault occurs, whenever a current sense fault occurs, the steering would turn the vehicle more than what is intended, and it might result in safety issues. So when we understand, okay, because of some particular fault, we can see that the vehicle would turn more than what is designed. Then we can get into that system and try to see whether how that fault can be mitigated. So in the simulation environment itself, we can add fault detection algorithms or fault detection schemes and make sure that the system is performing within safety limits in the simulation environment itself. So we can see here in the next simulation, which is with a fault detection scheme added to the system, and we have resimulated all the different fault scenarios, and we can see that in all the cases there is no oversteering problem. Similarly, here we have added faults on the ECU, and we can see some of the fault scenarios are providing oversteering, and when we add fault detection algorithms so as to make sure that those faults are mitigated, we can see that oversteering problem is resolved. So this way, in the simulation environment, we are not only evaluating the system performance in time domain, the simulation environment also provides you ways to understand the system performance under fault scenarios, which is highly helpful in the functional safety design process. Apart from the functional safety, as Gobi mentioned, tolerances are also key in automotive designs. Here is an electric sunroof design example. So you can see that the simulation environment provides you ways to include electrical systems as well as mechanical systems in one environment and allow you to understand the performance in greater detail. So what you see here is the sunroof system simulation results, where the window is open and kept open for us for some time, and then it is closed, so on and so forth. So this can be controlled using the signals, the up and down signals, and we can see that the current is drawn at whenever the sunroof is operated, and the temperatures in the motor are also sensed, and we can see the torque being applied by the motor. So all the various aspects of the motor or the currents that are flowing through the from the currents that are drawn from the battery, all these various parameters can be analyzed in greater detail. So everything that you are designing can be tested, and we can understand their performance in a virtual environment before even going for the first hardware prototype. So any design issues that can be seen or that might show up on your hardware can be checked in the software itself. So when you talk about automotive systems, tolerance analysis is important. So what we have done here is run a Monte Carlo simulation, which considers the component tolerances and shows you the design performance under various component values, the statistical distribution of the various component values. So here what we are seeing is the same window opening, the timing changes according to the component value. So the time taken to reach to the top varies in the given distribution as shown here. So this can be analyzed using the statistical analysis technique that is available in the simulation tool. So to understand the various systems that can be created in the simulation environment, the tool provides a rich set of component models, which are both generic and characterized components. So if you want to include a component that is provided by a particular manufacturer, you can have those you can see those components also added into the simulation tools library. So you can search for one of them, say batteries. So we have lead acid batteries that are characterized and available for you. The power components from different manufacturers, say the power MOSFETs. If you look at N-channel MOSFETs, there are many MOSFETs, there are many component models for this, so it is taking a while to show up the entire list. Similarly, different components like inductors, IGBTs, timers, transformers, optocouplers, motor components, fuses, so on and so forth. So the idea is to mainly cover all the components required for both automotive and aerospace. So you can see all the various components required for creating systems that are related to automotive and aerospace domain. So when you talk about simulations, it's not just the availability of models. We need to have efficient simulation algorithms so as to run the or simulate the complex systems that are created using the given library. So Sabre comes with different simulation programs like transient analysis, periodic AC analysis, and when you run all these AC analysis or DC sweep analysis, along with the looping commands like parametric sweep. So when you want to understand the system behavior under various parameter variations, you can use parameter sweep. So say, for example, you want to test the design for different input voltages or different load conditions, you use parameter sweep. So that you can do on a hardware prototype as well. But multivary, so when you want to vary multiple things like vary the temperature, vary the input voltage, and vary the load and see how the system performs, it's quite complicated when it comes to the hardware testing. So multivary gives you an easier way to test such scenarios automatically. So you don't have to vary each and every parameter at a time and run the simulation. Instead, you tabulate all the various values and just click the run button, and it runs the simulation for all these various parameter combinations that you have set. Similarly, Monte Carlo simulations will help you to run the statistical analysis that I just showed before, and fault analysis to run the functional safety simulations. The sensitivity analysis is another key analysis, which is a salient feature of Sabre, where you can optimize your design in the simulation environment itself. So when you want to optimize the, say for example, the time taken for the window to raise to the top, along with the amount of current drawn from the source, then you can I use the sensitivity analysis to understand which parameter in your complete system is affecting this measurement the most. So when you identify those parameters, say if not one parameter, you can select a few parameters and then just optimize those parameters, those component values, or the motor parameters, or the DC voltage of the battery itself, and then you can optimize the system in the simulation environment. And the first hardware prototype that you have that you come up with is already optimized for your design specification. So this way, a simulation environment provided by Synopsys is not only capable of designing the systems, it is also capable of running functional safety analysis along with design optimization in the virtual platform. So apart from just running, creating schematics and simulating the designs, we have packages that can give you clear results. So you can see how each and every waveform is or each and every signal is behaving in time domain or whichever domain that you have simulated for, and apply measurement. So measuring something is much more important than just plotting results, right? So if you have the result and if you're not able to measure what are the values at various instances, it's of no use. So Sabre has a set of more than 80 to 90 measurements which can be applied on your results. So this way you can have all the measurements done and see how your design is performing. So this is all about Sabre. Of course, there are many more things that can be talked about on Sabre and its features. So I would like to conclude here.
I just want to say a big thank you to Deepak Ji and other people in ACMA, and also our distributor EDS Technologies for organizing this great event. This was wonderful. Thanks for giving this opportunity to explain our virtual prototyping solution to wider customers here. Yeah, that's over to Deepak Ji.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bobby. I hope all participants must have enjoyed and learned from the today's session. A very big thanks to today's faculty for delivering so much wonderful and knowledgeable session. And thanks a lot to EDS team and Synopsys team for hosting this webinar. Thanks a lot to my colleague also to make all this happen. And a very big thanks to all participants for sparing their time to join the session and learn from this session. And keep safe, stay safe, and be happy. Happy learning. Thank you. Thanks a lot to everyone.